Hi there and welcome. This is Michele, your host of the NipTuck Talk Show, where I want you to be beautiful, not botched. My sole mission is to empower you to make safe choices when choosing any plastic surgery or cosmetic procedures. With honest talk and information, you will minimize your risks. Bad plastic surgery ruins lives. Here, you will get the real facts from leading board-certified plastic surgeons. My new series is about breasts called Boob Talk. You will hear from top plastic surgeons whose main area of expertise is breast augmentation, revision, reconstruction, reduction, and even explant, removal of implants. You'll hear from other women, their breast augmentation journeys. You'll learn how to choose the right surgeon and what to expect. If you are thinking about breast surgery, you won't want to miss this series. If you love this podcast, the best way to show your appreciation is to share it with your friends, write us a review or comment in iTunes. We really appreciate your support. All guest info and notes can be found on NipTuckTalk.com. Please stay in touch by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes and by joining our mailing list on NipTuckCoach.com. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at NipTuck Coach and NipTuck Talk, or send me an email to niptucktalk@gmail.com. Thank you for being a loyal listener. I love spending time with you. Now it's time for the show.
Welcome to the NipTuck Talk Show. Be beautiful, not botched. With your host, beauty expert, and plastic surgery coach, Michele Garber.
Hi there. This is Michele Garber, and you are listening to a special bonus segment to Boob Talk. Rather than a straight interview, I'm changing up this segment. I want to share with you different patient experiences and viewpoints. In episode 1, we talked about breast augmentation with a lift or without a lift with Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Mark Monty. And we also spoke to a patient about their breast augmentation journey. In episode 2, we talked about the many different types of implants available today with New York plastic surgeon Dr. Brian Cohen. As a plastic surgery coach, I work with women across the country, helping them find the right surgeon while educating and empowering them throughout their journey. Sometimes women contact me after they have had a botched surgery. That's the toughest, both emotionally and physically. I hope this series will empower you to make the right choices. My guest today is Jenny Eden of Eden Nose Implants. I found Jenny on Instagram as our audience is similar, and I liked her booby support group and invited her to share her story. Jenny is a 31-year-old mom from North Carolina and founder of EdenNoseImplants.com and Bust Mob, a private, safe Facebook community where women can share their breast augmentation stories. Jenny has partnered with plastic surgeons Dr. Jeremy Pyle in North Carolina and Dr. Stephen Camp in Fort Worth, Texas. Listeners can find her step-by-step guide to breast augmentation on EdenNoseImplants.com. Jenny had her first breast augmentation surgery, which was a breast reduction, at 18 years old. She was young and didn't know how to go about finding a surgeon or the right questions to ask.
Hi, thanks for having me. Well, a long time ago, back in 2004, when I was 18, I actually had a breast reduction. And I had developed so quickly that my breast really just sprouted and kind of fell. I lacked that thick tissue. And so going into being 18 years old, my breasts were so low, it looked like I had breastfed 2 children. So I decided I wanted to get a breast reduction. Well, being who I am and an 18-year-old, I didn't do any research. I pretty much just asked my mom who I should go to, and I went in. I came out with a very small B. So that was a really, really drastic change. I mean, I woke up with barely a B cup. And one thing I wasn't anticipating, though had I done my research, I would have known, but my areolas were actually very, very high on my chest. It made it very difficult to wear bathing suits, low-cut shirts. I couldn't even wear normal bras anymore. So, yeah.
Well, I can't even imagine being an 18-year-old girl going in for a breast reduction and then coming out with smaller breasts, breast placed too high, being really unhappy, not knowing where to turn to and what the next steps were. So let's find out from Jenny.
They were placed a little too high. I was shocked. It wasn't so much about the breast size. I wanted a lift. That's what I went into it wanting, but insurance won't cover a lift. You have to get a reduction. So I was like, okay. And then I was surprised that they were so small. So what I should have done that I didn't do was do my research. And a lot of what I've had to go through has sparked why I created Eden Nose Implants. Knowing now how important it is to be educated and to know what you're walking into.
This is one of the reasons why doing your research, getting the right information is so critical to having the best outcome.
I was 25 and I wanted to fill out my bathing suit tops and I wanted to be able to wear bathing suits,
Now Jenny's 25 years old and she's married and she really would like her boobs to fill out her bathing suit. So how can she do that? Well, implants. So she decided to do her research, find a doctor, and go get some breast implants. So she did, and she went out of town this time, and she'll tell you her story. She went to a celebrity plastic surgeon thinking that, oh, well, since he's a celebrity plastic surgeon, he must be good. Well, listeners, I just want to give you a little bit of a heads up. Celebrity plastic surgeon doesn't mean that he's skilled in the area that you are wanting surgery. So just remember that. A lot of celebrities have great publicists. But let's hear Jenny's story.
An implant might offset how high they were. So I went to Florida at 25 and met a surgeon. And here's another thing. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. Me and my husband did a lot of research online and felt that this would be a good surgeon to go to, really. He had good reviews on realself.com and stuff like that. And he was kind of known as being a celebrity doctor. So we're like, yeah, so that's reputable, right? So
Jenny goes through another surgery now at 25 years old, thinking that she's got the best doctor because he's a celebrity plastic surgeon, and she did the research on Real Self. I think Real Self is great. It's a good starting point, but just remember that the doctors that are on Real Self pay to be on Real Self. So it is a form of advertising. However, just because the plastic surgeon was a celebrity plastic surgeon, do you think Jenny had a great experience? Let's see.
Well, I was happy with my results. My biggest concern knowing this post-op was I didn't really feel like an important patient. I felt a little bit like a number. I didn't feel like a priority. Everything was very fast and rushed. And in hindsight, that should have tipped me off that maybe I should have consulted multiple plastic surgeons, which I do suggest women do. But I was happy with my results overall. But what I didn't do the second time was be very upfront about what I wanted. My ultimate goal was, yes, I wanted larger breasts and I took pictures and I'm like, hey, I like this, but I should have been more intentional about, hey, my areolas are pretty high. I can't wear stuff. Let's try to fix that. And I wasn't as vocal as I should have been. I wasn't as confident going into the consultation. And because of that, my areolas were still high post-op.
Having a good relationship with your plastic surgeon is key, and follow-up is also extremely important. Aside from that, it's also important that you know what it is that you want before you go to a plastic surgeon, and be very articulate with the surgeon, because the surgeon's not a mind reader.
I was happy with my results overall, but what I didn't do the second time was be very upfront about what I wanted. My ultimate goal was, yes, I wanted larger breasts and I took pictures and I'm like, hey, I like this, but I should have been more intentional about, hey, my areolas are pretty high. I can't wear stuff. Let's try to fix that. And I wasn't as vocal as I should have been. I wasn't as confident going into the consultation. And because of that, my areolas were still high post-op. It's my fault. I should have spoke up. I should have said something. And I was excited to be getting breast implants. So I got clouded, and my main objective got just, I forgot it for some reason. And, it's a scary process too. I mean, there's a lot happening really fast.
Jenny's first set of implants were 375 cc overfilled to 425, and they were saline. And then she got pregnant and had a little girl.
Well, after I had my daughter, I had a very low supply of breast milk. Like, they swelled up a little bit at first, but then after about 3 months, I was pumping and trying to breastfeed, and I was having to supplement with formula. Like, I just wasn't a big producer. So I swelled a little bit, but at the end of the day, there wasn't a whole lot of change. But I did notice they looked a little bit more natural and a little more settled. They looked fine. I thought they looked, honestly, a little bit better afterwards, but by no means did I have like a big supply, and there was no sagging.
So let's see. Jenny's had 2 breast augmentation surgeries. She's had a little girl. And I think maybe we know why, or what inspired her at least, to start Eden nose implants.
Well, then after my first surgery, my first breast augmentation, that's when I started having the vision for Eden nose implants. And later down the road, like as Eden developed, I met Dr. Jeremy Pyle of Davis and Pyle Plastic Surgery in Raleigh, North Carolina. And he was one of the biggest advocates for me starting Eden nose implants. He was really always there. If I had questions about an article I was writing, he was the first to respond, super detailed, just really encouraging. So I knew his attention for detail was there, which I loved. And knowing how non-assertive I was with my first 2 procedures, I was honest with him. I was like, hey, this is something that's been really bothering me. My areolas being so high. Is there something that can be done? Because I'd done some research here and there, and it's kind of tricky to move areolas down. It's easier to move them up rather than down. So he was like, yeah, we can do it. I feel confident. So I was like, hallelujah, someone has an answer for me.
I think Jenny has found the surgeon that can help her with her breast augmentation and give her the results that she wants. She's already had 2. This will be number 3. She is much wiser, and this surgeon is also out of town, and let's hear what happens next.
So when I was 30, it was a year after I had my daughter. So it was a little over a year, just to make sure, milk ducts are all dried up and all that good stuff. And I went in, and when I saw him, I actually documented the whole experience, which you can see on YouTube. So I was in Nashville, and I had to fly out to Raleigh, and the documentary just shows like me packing, my pre-op, surgery day, in surgery, and waking up, recovery, just the whole 9 yards, which is like, if you're going to be an out-of-state patient, it's a really good video to watch. This time I did a saline again, and 550 cc's overfilled to 600. And I got a full anchor lift, and that really assisted in being able to pull everything down and pull down and pinch it up. It's really funny. It's kind of hard to explain, but it did bring my areolas down, and I can, after 12 years, I can finally wear a bathing suit. I can finally wear a normal bra. So getting that self-confidence back, I know how these women feel, getting breasts for the first time and being able to fill out a bathing suit. And it's been so liberating in a way, because I couldn't even wear a bra before. I had to wear Kubies or sports bras, or a bra one size too big just to cover my areola, which doesn't fit. So I'm so much more happier and confident now than I thought I could be. I really didn't think anyone could fix me, to be honest, and I'm fixed.
Now let's talk a little bit more with Jenny about Eden nose implants.
Well, for my first augmentation when I was 25, I wanted to be more informed, more educated. So obviously when I was 18, I did none of that. So I was hoping to remedy that mistake. So when I was 25, I found myself I had multiple tabs open on my browser, jumping back and forth between different sites. And either it was very medical and it spoke over my head, or I didn't know how updated some of these articles were. And it was just very overwhelming. And I was all over the place. And it was almost kind of counterproductive. Like I was going into this to try to be more like empowered and like knowledge based, but I kind of felt like I was drowning in information because I didn't even know where to start. I felt so inspired after that point though. My husband can build websites. And so I had the drive and the passion to create content. And so we just decided like, I really want to do this. And I started writing and we threw a website up and I started getting emails, people thanking me. So I knew that something was there and people liked it. So I just kept digging, and I wanted Eden to be a place that was easy to understand, a fun place, very lighthearted and just easy to digest, because just going into an elective surgery as it is can be overwhelming and scary. So I wanted a place that felt safe, like with Bus Mob. A couple of years later, we created Bus Mob, and that is an online community for women who are either wanting breast implants or already have breast implants. And it's really good to have a community of women, like like-minded women who can help you, walk with you, answer questions for you, and really just like be your friend through the experience. You can go to busmob.com and you can fill out your information. You know, like we need to see you and know that you are you. So it takes a while, but yeah, busmob.com is how you get information.
In addition to Eden Nose implants, Jenny also got involved in developing some products for post-op.
Well, with my first procedure back when I was 25, that's when I started getting into a lot of the all-natural products, making my own like shampoos, detergents, lotions, everything at home. And I was looking for like recovery products that were not loaded with chemicals like parabens and sodium lauryl sulfates and all those things. And I was really having a hard time just finding something all natural. So that then sparked my interest in creating the kit. So inside the recovery kit, there's a Booby butter, a scar salve, and all the handmade products, the scar salve, the Booby butter, it contains what I call a healing oil, like the Booby butter. Like we're pretty much trauma on our breast. You know, we're cutting it, we're stretching it. So the Booby butter is really good at just prepping the area, keeping it moisturized. So when it stretches, it's not going to be so hard for your breast skin to stretch, because our breast skin is very sensitive. It's like one of the thinnest pieces of skin on our body. So keeping that area really well taken care of before surgery is going to have a really, really good impact post-op.
I asked Jenny if she would share with us some of the most common questions that she gets from her followers.
A lot of women ask how many cc's they should get, or they'll send me a picture and ask what cup size do I think they are. But I think the best thing you can do when it comes to specific things like that is to really find a surgeon that you trust. Like, they're the professional. They will know like what you need to get to where you want to go. And while it is important to, to have a range in mind, like if that makes you feel more comfortable, you need to really be able to trust who your surgeon is and what they think is best for you too. And I also get a lot of people asking if they should get saline or silicone, but really everyone's different. Like they make so many implants today to really tailor what makes you feel comfortable, what you like best. It's like a completely different industry than what it was, like 15 years ago.
I want to thank Jenny for all that she's doing for the plastic surgery community. Being informed about your procedures minimizes your risks. It's great to have a place to go for online support. Just remember that if you're having any medical issues, you must contact your surgeon immediately or go to the ER. When you're thinking about plastic surgery, keep these tips in mind. 1, do your homework and not just online, because online resources are sometimes not reliable. 2, always go to a board-certified plastic surgeon who has expertise in breast augmentation or the procedure that you are seeking. 3, Go see 3 plastic surgeons. And once you've decided on the one you like, go have another consultation before you commit. 4, be very specific with your surgeon and articulate what you want. You and your surgeon are a team, and your surgeon is not a mind reader. 5, know the right questions to ask before your consultation. 6, be prepared. Prepare your body before and after surgery. Get everything you need beforehand. Make sure you have help and the support that you need. Links to Eda nose implants will be on my show page at NipTuckTalk.com.
One of the things that I think is the most rewarding part of starting Eda nose implants and having all the social media outlets that I do is really getting to just see women get their confidence back. Like, it's such a unique opportunity to be a small role in someone getting that back. Like a woman who has breastfed their children and they feel deflated emotionally and physically, or a woman who didn't have breasts that they just never developed, or someone who's just been unsatisfied their whole life with their breast size. Like, just being able to see them before and after, like, it's such a rewarding experience. And I'm grateful that women give me that opportunity to speak into their life.
Thank you for listening to Boob Talk. I know that breast augmentation or any surgery can be scary. I hope you find these episodes and other episodes helpful in your journey. Please remember, the information in this episode should not be construed as medical advice. It is only an opinion. Please listen, rate, and review Boob Talk on Apple Podcasts and Google Play. In our next episode, we will discuss some of the advances in breast augmentation with Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Steve Teitelbaum. Show notes and information about our guests are available on our website at NipTuckTalk.com. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at NipTuck Talk. And if you're interested in being a guest or you have show suggestions, please email me at niptucktalk@gmail.com. If you like our show, please share it with your friends. And if you're seeking plastic surgery, have questions, need surgeon referrals, support, or aftercare, and just want information, please contact me at niptuckcoach.com. I see clients in San Francisco Bay Area and Beverly Hills. I provide aftercare services in the Bay Area. And if you live outside of the area, Skype or FaceTime works for consultations as well. Remember, you only have one face and one body. Choose wisely. Be beautiful, not botched.
Thank you for listening to the NipTuck Talk Show with Michele Garber. We hope you enjoyed our show. We want to hear from you. If you have questions, show suggestions, or comments, email Michele at info@niptuckcoach.com or leave a message on our Facebook fan page at NipTuck Talk Show. To contact Michele directly, call 415-494-7211. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Podbean. If you like this podcast, please tell your friends. Thanks again for listening to the NipTuck Talk Show, your plastic surgery connection. Be beautiful, not botched.